Best.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9LIVE. I am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, as always, Jim Rosati, Tyler. What's up, everybody?
How we doing, friends?
What's going on?
Wow. You guys are really into it tonight.
Man, it's
Have a beer or something.
you know
Yeah.
what? I feel like we got to drop off since we lost Tim Williams from last week. So now I just got to hang out with you two.
Now we have Bucko Mikes in the chat
Sure,
that we got to deal
it's-
with instead.
It's going to be hard to top last week. I feel like that was a really good show we had last week.
I mean, yeah, obviously, of course it was.
Like, imagine watching this last week and be like, "Oh, Tim's on it," and then this week it's just us three.
Such a disappointment.
This
Right.
is what you get.
Well, with that being said, it is just us three.
I was actually, speaking of us three, I was reading a review that we had on Apple Podcasts,
You have those?
Yeah.
and it was an older one. But it did say, if I wanted to listen to just random people talk nonsense, I could go to my bar.
Well,
Was that
welcome to
Tyler?
the bar, boys. Cheers.
Someone just outed Tyler before he came on the NS9.
Well, then don't listen. Like, I bet you saw a few other reviews in there that were from Ryan Alexander, whoever that is, like 5 stars. Very
Yeah,
knowledgeable
probably.
about the Pirates.
Who is
Yeah,
that? By the way, actually, speaking,
Ryan A.
it's this guy. It's this guy right there, right there. Look at that. The Godfather, Ryan Alexander.
We need a reunion show sometime soon.
We really
Yeah,
do.
we don't need a whole hour of him trying to sell me a house.
It's okay. He doesn't. Everyone going to get real inside now. No one's going to get this, but I was going to say he doesn't sell real estate in Ohio, which is terrible, by the way. Even though Ryan apparently feels California. Let's put Ryan on blast here. I want to hear what did everyone else think about this.
Let's do it.
And he can't defend himself, which makes it better. Ryan feels Ohio is better than California.
Like a better place to live.
Yeah, just let that sink in. Ryan would prefer to live in Ohio opposed to California.
I agree. I'm fully on board with Ryan's take there.
But no,
Because the way you guys, just not to get too deep into it, but the way you guys think of it is like the LA, the San Francisco, San Diego.
What are you talking
What
about?
about
like,
those people?
You guys. What do you mean, you
and what I
guys?
like is Tyler's literally here like you guys are thinking about, and Tyler just lists off all these great places in California.
Yeah.
But the California is not just 4 cities. There are people that live
Correct.
on
Yeah.
other parts of
There's
California.
even more great places in
sound
California.
Absolutely miserable, and you pay a way higher tax rate. In Ohio, we all suck.
Exactly.
So-
You all suck in Ohio.
So
there's
instead of
parts in
some-
California that suck, and then there's some parts that are really,
Yeah.
really, really nice.
So instead of some
Yeah,
parts
Columbus is
sucking,
nice.
Ohio all sucks.
No, Columbus is nice. I mean, my hood's nice.
Wow. So discredit San Diego because it's only one place that's nice, but Ohio has Columbus.
I'm
Yeah, you
a
can't
different
do that.
person. Like, I'm a different person, but I like my small town, and I like small towns.
Okay.
There's small towns in California
Right.
on the beach.
Yeah, where I'm paying a
warm
30%
weather.
tax rate. It's crappy. There's also cool places in California because it's kind of large.
Right.
Like, if I want to get across the state of Ohio, it takes me 4 hours. If I want to get across the state of California, it might take me 4 days.
Well, I don't know what you're
What
doing
route
for
are you
4
taking?
days. I know, right?
Say,
If I'm starting at, if I'm
Are you
starting at the
walking?
northmost- if
You
I'm
can
starting
get
at the
to-
northmost point to the southmost, it might take a while.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just fly?
I'm sorry, Jim. Not everyone makes $500,000 a year.
Well, if you live in California, you will.
No,
Is that the
because it
base?
would all go back to
That's
the
the-
government.
500K is the baseline to be able to go on a plane.
to fly.
Apparently, I can't help it that I'm poor. You guys don't pay me enough.
Tyler thinks when you go to the airport, right? You hand them like your ticket, and they ask for like
Right.
not like your ID. They ask for like your W-2. They're like, no, sir.
Yeah, can I see
this
your W-2?
this only says $120,000. You can't board this flight.
Listen, I've been on a plane like twice in my life. I'm not privileged.
Privileged. $99 one way ticket, like almost anywhere in the U.S. and like Southwest. He's not privileged enough.
You know what? $100 is like 2 bar tabs.
Well,
All right.
let's move
Got
on.
you there, boys.
No, what I was going to say is that's actually really, really bad because the bar you're at, I'm sure beers are like $2. So that's like
true. A
20.
$50 bar tab.
Yeah, that's
in
a
Ohio.
lot for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I just had one of those on Tuesday.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I was like, that's actually really sad because $50 is a lot, I'm sure. Your local bar where, $2.
No,
I mean, especially the
I
ones
went
you're
to the
drinking.
brewery.
Oh, okay. The brewery. Here we go. Your
It's
fake
$5
brewery.
beer.
All right. Let's get into some actual Pirates baseball talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not
We're
talk about
done with
Tyler's
this,
personal life.
So I
Done
guess, we're barely into spring training still, but I don't know anything that you wanted to highlight. I know Jim and I kind of talked a little overreaction yesterday. We've had 2 games since 5 inning, and today was a 7, right? Or a 6.
Today was 6.
6. So we've had 11 innings since
7.
yesterday.
It was 7 today.
Was it 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so 12.
Yeah.
So I guess, anyways, regardless, though, anything that struck you in this first week in the minor league baseball? I'm sorry, in spring training baseball.
Just from my observations, Brian Hayes looks locked in, so that's always good to see. I mean, obviously, I think he's only played in 3 games, but he has looked good in all 3 games. Driving the ball, hitting it hard, driving it to opposite field. So he's looked nice. Today he looked great at the plate. All 3 at bats, really, even his out. Kevin Newman off to a pretty hot start too. I mean, it's only 9 plate appearances, but 4 for 6 with 3 walks so far. Kevin Newman. I pointed out, looks like he's got a little stance change this year. His hands are a little bit higher.
I'm going to say, highlight that us.
Farther
Highlight
away
that
from
for
his
us.
body. Yeah, so he looks like his hands are a little bit further away from his body. They're lower. He's starting his hands down lower. Looks to be a little bit more upright. So I don't know. I'll look a little bit more detail in that, but yeah, he looks like he's switched things up a little bit, and obviously it's super early, but he's off to a pretty nice start.
True. I agree.
Offensively, that's really all I got. I'm not really going to bring up Todd Frazier and his 2 home runs. I don't care. Mitch wants me to talk about Alford. I don't care. Alfred hit a home run. There you go, Mitch. Again, O'Neal Cruz is playing center field right now because that's how uninteresting the center field battle is. They're literally playing a person who's not even competing for the position, just to put somebody out there. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
He probably ends up in the outfield, so whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of a fair point I'll give you though, Jim, on that. But I will say it was interesting to see O'Neal Cruz in center field.
The interesting part, like just as a baseball nerd, was Sheldon's explanation on putting him in center field because he felt like it would be an easier transition to him. Just people that enjoy baseball, all the intricacies of it. That was just something that kind of stood out to me. That was kind of, I guess I never really thought of it that way. Like what they did with Cole Tucker, putting him in center field, not really playing the corners. It does make sense where you don't have to work the angles. So maybe it's a spot that he gets used to, and then they move him to the corners because we all know he's not going to stick to shortstop. He wants to stick to shortstop. I think you leave him there until he proves he absolutely, positively cannot play there. But we all know he absolutely can not play there.
You actually make a very good point, Tyler. Maybe let's talk about that a little bit because I think you're right. I feel like everybody, I don't think really too many people were talking about him in center. There was no action. Everything just penciled him into right field or first base. Like that's it. If shortstop can happen, which is a very, very low chance, and obviously there's shortstop, but it's going to be right field or first. And you're right. Like now he's in center. And I feel like everyone's like, whoa, wait a second. It kind of makes sense because, he's got a great arm. He's uber athletic. Like I understand he's 6'7". So maybe that was part of it. You just feel like this guy's going to fill out and be like a Polanco and you put him right field, but there's a reason it's shortstop. So it's like, if he's still athletic enough, he's still fast, still got that can of an arm, like he could make a really good center fielder. And right, he's in the middle, probably better on the angles and such. The center field makes a lot of sense. Why were none of us thinking about that?
That's one of my favorite parts about spring training is just Twitter hashtag spring training drills. Just as a baseball fan and someone that loves the sport, just watching these guys do T-work, do all that stupid stuff. That's where the nerd in me comes out.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Jim and Bucko Myko, and I have a little beef here on the chat. So shave that beard, Jim. Get that dirt off your face.
Right.
So
no, I think you guys hit the nail on the head with Cruz. And I think Tim mentioned it, last week also, but
yeah,
it's not like there's a shortstop in AA or AAA right now that's like forcing him to move off the position. So like you might as well just let him play there.
Yeah. Like there's how many times has everyone in the world been wrong about a guy? Just until he proves that he can 100,000% not play there. What's the harm in letting him play there? Especially when there's so much work to be done with the bat.
Yeah.
I think learn another position.
Yeah.
You sold me on it when we talked about this. I want to feel like it was a few months ago now. Let him work on the bat. That's what's really important right now. Like he's got to hit with his bat. If he makes the majors, it's not because he's really good shortstop. It's because he has a great bat. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let him be comfortable, work on the hitting side, and then he can worry about what position he plays later. So, that sold it to me. And then like when Tim coming on as well, also, yeah, it's like it's not like you have to move him off either, right? Like Jim just alluded to, there's no one pushing him. It's not like there's other superstar here. It's like, all right, let's just make the transition now. Let him play there. Let him do it until you can't. And then he goes and plays center field and not even right field.
And it's not like the bat is not developing because he's playing shortstop. If there comes a point where he's making error after error and it starts to affect his entire gameplay, at that point you worry about it. But until that happens, just let the guy hit, let the guy play ball. And then whenever that debut comes, throw him somewhere in the field. It's baseball. He's a baseball player and an athlete. Deal with it.
True.
Yeah, and I think the thing with him is like he's athletic enough that you can put him anywhere, other than shortstop, and he'll probably be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
Right. A shortstop can play anywhere. It's not like we're moving a first baseman to shortstop.
Right.
And there's a reason, he's 6'7" and still playing short because he is athletic enough. So, right. I'm sure he can do it. As Bucko Mike says, Pirates aren't competing until 2023 at earliest. It doesn't matter if Cruz plays, and that's part of it as well. So no longer this 6'7" shortstop. Now we got a 6'7" center fielder potentially, which is still like, wow. So, man, I hope this kid pans out
for you.
Hell yeah. I can't just think about the home runs he could potentially rob. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to leave.
It's like, remember seeing all those videos like Tyler Glasnow dunking, right? Going between the legs. That's like O'Neal Cruz in the outfield.
Just put him in him in right field and he'll rob him off the Clemente wall.
Actually, there you go. Maybe he should play right.
How about another really fun part of spring training? And it was against the Pirates, but yesterday we got to see Wander Franco hit one to the freaking moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
he took
blasted a ball.
And he even said he feels that was the farthest home run he ever hit.
Yeah, I mean, he just crushed it. Smooth swing, low in the zone. He just blasted it.
I would just talk to a guy like that and be like, how does it feel to be able to hit a ball 500 feet?
Well, you should know, Tyler. Go face Kyle Hendricks.
Go face Kyle Hendricks and see what it's like.
I'm telling you, about 325 for me. But just to be able to hit a ball 500 feet, watch a ball go off the bat and go, good Lord, I'm so good at this.
Yeah. Well, what's the
Tatis?
Just going, I guess, around. This doesn't relate to anything, but going around the league. Tatis jacked one pretty far. Ohtani took one, I think, 468 yesterday as well.
Ohtani hit one over the batter's eye. Yeah.
Yeah. So moonshots. Anyways.
It would be fun to be that strong.
I want to see Ohtani get back to his rookie year. That was fun, where he was basically an ace, and he was also,
get us his words, the Asian elbow.
He was awesome that year. And if imagine how much you're so valuable when you're a 3-WAR pitcher and you're a 4-WAR hitter.
Right.
That's an insanely valuable player. So I don't know. Hopefully, you can get back to that pitching wise. He didn't look very good last year on the mound. But we'll see. I'd like to
coming off of injuries, the shortened season, it's now he's further away from the injury, probably back more in a routine. I'm with you too, Jim. I think a lot of people are excited about Ohtani, and he more or less delivered his first year, but it hasn't been the same since, again with injury. So yeah, but also too, think about too, his rookie season. He was 22, I believe, right? His first year over. Was it 22?
24.
23. Okay.
23.
23. Okay. So let's say, the thing is too, now he's definitely in his prime as well. So we could see breakouts, dominant Ohtani, and I'm excited for it. And I'm sure all Angels fans are.
Fun? You know what's fun about Ohtani? What? If we look back to spring training of his rookie year, he was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Yes.
Which tells you.
Yeah, how he couldn't even touch the ball.
Much
he
not to look in
added the leg kick, right? The game one on opening day, right? Is that what happened?
Just changed his batting stance altogether.
Yeah, it was like you said, he was trash, and I think it was what it was on opening day.
They
he
were
added
talking about
the leg kick,
minors.
And then that was it. We're good to go.
Yeah. It is strange what they do to Asian hitters. I was on board of it with Jung Ho. And he cut out his leg kick altogether, and then he just kind of took off after he started using it again.
I wish he would have used a leg kick to park his bike instead of taking a car. But anyways.
You know what, Denardo? You get a A+ for that one.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you.
You know what he should have taken that bike to?
Where?
PNC Bank to get a loan for another bike.
Well, speaking of PNC Bank, Tyler, congratulations on that segue. So it was officially announced today that the Pirates and PNC, they went ahead and re-upped on their partnership for another 10-year. Well, it's not another. It was a 20-year, but now a 10-year extension. So the naming rights will still be PNC Park. We all can be put at ease. It's not going to be Dollar General. It's not going to be Seven Springs. It's still PNC Park, but it couldn't be any Pirate news without people being triggered, right, guys? So even though it is PNC Park still, there's a little change. So as you can see, these are the designs. It's not done yet, obviously, but this is put out by the Pirates. This is what it will look like. So we're not going to have just the typical classic blue and white outline PNC Park. It's more or less like the logo. They're adding the logo in there, the wording and such. A little bit different. So guys, as mentioned, a lot of people are pretty pissed off today. This is trash. This is terrible. This sucks. I'm sure there's a few, Nunning's wallets thrown in here. What's your take on the new, I guess, logo, just design of this for PNC Park?
So, I mean, if I'm PNC, I want my logo on the ballpark, so it makes sense for them in that regard. I don't mind the way it looks like on the front home plate entrance there and, on the scoreboard. I'm actually, Mitch mentioned it here in the chat. The blue PNC Park, though, along the Riverwalk, like facing downtown, like I love the way that looks. And so changing that, I feel like is a little bit of a mistake just because, I mean, I feel like that part of the ballpark is kind of
iconic,
like a more iconic piece of it. Yeah. I mean, the ballpark's only 20 years old, so I don't really know if any of it's iconic, but
it's iconic, Jim.
But that part of it, is I think one of the more aesthetically pleasing parts of the ballpark. And swapping that out with the logo and the white, not a fan of that. But I mean, at the end of the day, who really cares? The reason why PNC Park's, what it is, it's that view. It's the view that you get. That's why people like it so much. But I wish they would keep the blue letters on the outside by the Riverwalk.
Can I give this a big ol' who gives a shit?
Do it, Tyler.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
How many bucks do you give, Tyler?
We should bring that game back. I think we will, by the way. How many bucks?
I don't think I can rub 3 nickels together of bucks. I do not care. Jim is actually.
Is that the Tomlin? We do not care.
No, like the Riverwalk, it looks great. I don't care. Is anything they're doing blocking the view of downtown or the skyline?
Sure.
At the park? No, don't care. Move on.
Yeah.
Go to a game twice. You're not going to notice it again. Who cares?
Yeah. So what I'll say is, I mean, Jim's absolutely right. On PNC, I'm going to be like, hey, this is actually our logo. If we're going to renegotiate, get 10 more years of this, like, this is us. This is our brand. You're still keeping the name. Let's change it up at our brand. So, I mean, I get on both sides. And also, you are the Pirates. It's not like you're the Yankees and you have this pool. It's not like you're the Yankees, like, well, you know what? Fine. We'll go with this company because they want to sponsor us. There's probably not too many people knocking down the door saying, hey, Pittsburgh Pirates, we want to give you money. So, I'm sure that's part of it. I mean, again, it's a good relationship. Obviously, here's what we do. But like, I'm with Jim on this as well, and like a lot of people too. Not enough that I'm gonna get triggered. Not enough from bashing Pirates Twitter account and going off like, here we go again. Oh, nothing sucks, and the Pirates are stupid, and oh my god, this looks terrible. It's more corporate. I think that's what gave PNC Park like its mystique to a degree. Is it wasn't corporate. I've seen people say this on Twitter, and I fully agree. There's just something like PNC Park just sounds like a solid, cool. like a name. Like, yeah, it's a cool name, the stadium,
it's alliteration.
It doesn't sound corporate. It's still obviously the same name, but now it has more of a corporate look to it. And I guess that's the difference. Being up front in front of the stadium, I wouldn't have an issue. Like what Jim said on the Riverwalk there, how it used to look, there's something to that. Like I said, iconic, whatever you want to call it. It just looked very aesthetically appeasing. Just the blue, the white outline, and also the spacing in the letters, is spaced out to cover the whole thing. And now it's all in just the one spot. So that's part of it. Now, what I will say, I'm putting on to the scoreboard. You know what's weird and funny? I actually like the scoreboard like that. I don't know why. Like it just, I have no issue with the scoreboard.
No.
But yeah, it's like, I'm not taking big issue with this. It is what it is. I don't really care that much. What I'm more excited about is it's staying as PNC Park because the name just sounds great as well. And of course, it's iconic with Pittsburgh. It is what it is for the branding. But obviously, yes, I would prefer the old way.
What would have happened if they would have said, yeah, you know what, we're going to keep the PNC name, but it's PNC Bank Park.
that might have been a little annoyed.
Yeah,
there you go.
The corporate feel,
That is a worse move than this.
Yeah.
The way it's named, although again, I'll tell you what, if it was called PNC Bank Park, nobody's calling it PNC Bank Park. Nobody's calling it. It's still just PNC Park.
Kind of like how the Mellon Arena was always the Civic Arena.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
This is like when they changed the logo to the P rather than the Jolly Roger, and no one really cared, but everyone was up in arms about it. Who cares? You're not really going to notice it.
Typical Twitter outrage, right? The fake outrage.
There are so many more things to be upset about the Pirates about.
That I agree.
I think we all can agree on that.
So, like the scoreboard, though, Donardo, I agree with you. The scoreboard, I think, looks just fine. And like I said, again, the home plate entrance there, I think that looks fine. I think the riverfront is like the only piece that it would be cool to keep it, but again, it's not a huge deal.
I mean, and we won't really know for sure until the season starts and you drive past it. They might do something cool with it. I mean, light up.
These are all artist renderings, so they're not even.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure if they're really even artist renderings. I think it's more just like it's just like an outline of the logo and they just put there. It's like MS Paint, like it just put. It's not even really Photoshop.
Exactly.
Mitch says he would take the bank over the sign being gone.
Mitch, you're a dum.
That's absolutely.
There's no way I will take this sign all day long than having to call it PNC Bank Park. Oh, that's awful.
I'm with you.
All right. So
you know what I hope, Donardo? You know what I hope?
What do you hope?
I hope that PNC on the Riverwalk projects onto the river.
Tell you what. How large do you think it will project onto the river? Would you go over or under 2.5 times what it is on the sign?
According to Steamer, it's not going to project too well.
Oh, I think I'm taking the over then. Is that another segue, Tyler?
God, I'm so good at this job.
It's the segue king. Today.
I'm glad we brought Tyler on. He knows his role. Tyler's here for segues.
What I do, friends.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's get into a little bit of projections here.
They're ugly. Let's be honest with you. They are uglier than Jim's Microsoft Office Paint, whatever, PNC Park Riverwalk.
Oh, I'm like, where are you going with this? Jim? Why was that Jim?
They're ugly. Well, Jim's one complaining, so.
Okay.
We just
I didn't complain. I was just pointing it out.
Just stick to segues, Tyler.
Yeah.
You know what, Donardo? I don't like you. Anyhow, earlier we were talking about the Pirates and what the hell? Actually, we were talking about what the hell we're going to talk about tonight. So we decided we're going to go a little over under on some of the projections. Jim and Donardo have already talked about the Zips projections. We don't have a baseball rep or a baseball prospectus subscription, so Pacoda's out.
Sorry, guys. Donardo's wallet.
Yeah, Donardo's wallet all the way. So let's take a look at the old Steamer projections.
What's up with the Manscaped and no baseball prospectus?
It's tough. It's tough. So anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and take a peek at these Steamer projections, and you guys tell me if you think they will be higher or lower than their projection. And I just want to start right here with Brian Reynolds. Steamer's got him at 17 homers, 263, .34, 430, and a 100 WRC plus, along with a 1.2 WAR.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll kind of start off here. That sounds similar to like what Zips was. I know we had this conversation a while ago, but it's nice to kind of refresh it. I got to go with the over again. Like, I just feel it's once again like Brian Reynolds has hit everywhere. I get the projections. I understand why they are where they are, but he's never gone anywhere and not hit, opposed to last year, which again isn't that season worth throwing away. Now, is he going to be a 300 hitter again this year? I mean, that's debatable, but like to me, the 260 just seems so low. 17 home runs, that's about right. Like I can sit on that. That's fair. And then like the WAR being right under 2, I think you said, like, what was it, 1.7?
1.2.
Oh,
that's what Steamer has at.
Yeah, I am. If I'm going to Vegas and I can bet on this right now,
this is the one I'm way over on.
I'm selling all of my Bitcoin. I'm selling all of my AMC, all of my GameStop, and I'm putting it on Brian Reynolds right now. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, the 1.2 number seems pretty low. I mean, Zips was the same. Zips had him at 1. But yeah, like I don't know if he's what he was in 2019. Like I think that's like a best case scenario. But I mean, I think Brian Reynolds is good enough to be at least a 2 WAR player in Major League Baseball. I said last year I think was a little bit of an anomaly. His strikeouts were up, but also his walks were up. But the BABIP just killed him. He hit 231 on balls in play. And that's just not even a sustainable number, no matter what you're looking at. No one's going to hit 231 as their BABIP for an entire season. That's just not going to happen. So especially when he was 387, it was a 150-point drop in BABIP from 2019 to 2020. That's how crazy it was. So yeah, I'm if we're going over under on just kind of across the board, I'm over that. I do like the home run number. I think that's probably about right. Like, I could see him pushing 20. But I think he's definitely going to go over that 1.2 WAR.
Yeah, I'm with both you guys. I think he's probably a 2 to 3 WAR player. The home runs, like you guys said, probably on. I did see something, and I can't find the source of it, but he was one of the top 5 or the worst hitters on fastballs outside last year, which I think him and Gregory Polanco were top 5 worst hitters on an outside fastball. I think that's something that's an approach issue that I think gets cleaned up. Also, 60 games is really tough to judge a player on after a 500 at-bats plate appearance season. So I think he settles into more of the Neil Walker category where it's a 2 to 3 win player, 270 batting average. He's gonna slug 430, 450 in that general area.
Mm-hmm.
I also do think that a lot of this projection is him playing center field where defensively he's going to struggle. So that might have something to do with it as well.
The WAR?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Batting wise, I don't see him being a 263 hitter. I think he's too good for that. Like Donardo said, he's hit above that everywhere he's been.
Yeah, and he's always made good contact, and just like last year just seemed like such an anomaly, He had a lot going on. He had a baby. Kudos, I think I saw
60 games. Like, what are you going to do?
Right. So,
if you're bad for 20 of those, it's a 30-year season. If you're bad for 20 games in a regular season, you can bounce back.
Yep.
All right.
I think what was just weird is like his entire rookie season, he just never, like, at no point did he ever struggle,
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of strange watching him struggle last year. But I think like you mentioned, he's a professional hitter. He's hit everywhere. I think he's going to figure it out. Like I don't think he's going to be a superstar or anything like that. But he should be a solid major league hitter.
Did Jim just give us the professional hitter term? Did he just throw out the professional hitter?
Term.
He is a professional hitter. Come on, bro.
I mean,
professional.
if
Such a
that term is applied to anyone, I think on this team it's Brian Reynolds.
They're all professional hitters, maybe except for Cole Tucker.
Only the pitchers.
He's a professional
Pitchers.
glove.
Anthony
all
Alford
right.
also not a professional hitter.
Nah, but he's an
Absolutely
interesting one. He's pro-am
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Let's jump over to Kevin Newman.
Okay,
They've
let's
got
do
him
this.
at They've got him at 102 games played, 440 plate appearances, 7 homers, 271 batting average, 304, 362. Whew. And they've got him at a .4 WAR.
Yeah, I'll let you
Please
take
tell
this,
me
Jim.
I'm crazy by saying that's just wild.
Start us off, Jim.
I mean, you look at 2018, he was terrible. 2020, he was terrible. 2019 is actually the anomaly here, right? Where he was actually a pretty productive player.
But that's the year that he had as many at bats as 2018 and 2019, though.
You're right. You're right.
Well, and albeit, 2018 also, that was his call up. He had 31 games, 97 plate appearances. So, to your point,
yeah,
Tyler.
he basically played September. Yeah.
Right. In the minors
No, I
of
think,
19 or 18, he.
The minors of
produced.
every year have not been good.
Well, no, for Kevin Newman that year,
sorry.
it was. Kevin Newman, he had a 114. He batted 302 in AAA that year. And then he got his call up in the majors.
He did pretty well that year.
Whatevs. And I'm sorry. Continue, Jim.
No, you're
Sorry,
good.
Jimbo.
I think I mentioned this last year too, but Kevin Newman led baseball, or at least led the National League in infield hits in 2019. And that led to his extremely high BABIP of 333. He didn't strike out very much, so he put the ball in play a lot, and he was fast enough to just beat out a lot of ground balls. Last year was just not like that. He really was just he was pretty bad all around. There was no power. The strikeouts went up a little bit, but like the extreme lack of power was rough. Those projections, if we're going to see Steamer, I'm showing 85 weighted runs created plus. Gosh, I think he's probably right around there. I don't think he. I'm gonna go just with my gut here and say that he's under that.
Oh, you're going
the 0.5 WAR. I think the 0.5 WAR is about right. I mean, I don't think Kevin Newman is an average major league shortstop.
Yeah. Interesting. So, one thing I want to put in here too, because that's all correct, Jim. Those are all good factual information. And the one thing too is when you highlight his best season was a 109 weighted run created plus. I mean, that's not to downplay it. I mean, I'm saying like he's terrible, but that was a really, really good season, and all those good things led to it, like Jim said. Really, really high BABIP, obviously a lot of infield hits to get there and such. But that season also did come with power. Like he hit 12, and I say power because that's not really power. But for Kevin Newman and what he's shown, like the 12 home runs and 531 plate appearances, like 446 slugging, that's power for Kevin Newman. So I don't see
that.
that
Did not hit a college home run.
Right. So like that's power for Kevin Newman. So I don't see that happening either. Like Jim was saying, he got kind of lucky. A lot of infield hits he beat out, but he also had power that came out of nowhere. Now what's also happening this year, the ball is deadening. So does he hit 2 home runs this year? Like that might be a question, going from 12 and 19. So I feel like, at his best, the 109, and I feel like that's high, but 85 to me sounds low as well. He has really good contact skills, doesn't strike out a ton. I feel like he can definitely get the average up. Last year as well, his BABIP was down to 250. The average, I think, can play. The weighted runs created plus will be close. I'm going to go over, but slightly. Like everything to me is slightly over. I think he'll hit for a much better average. The power's way down again. It's basically a slap stick hitter And then the defense will obviously hurt him. But I'll give him more than a 0.4. I'll go over on both of those, but not much.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a guy that's like a 280 hitter, 320 OBP, and like a 3 maybe 80 slugging. But I think that all wraps into maybe like probably a 1-win player if he's playing shortstop.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on how well he's playing shortstop.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think it ends up being about a 1 to 2 win player. I mean, I've never loved Kevin Newman. I've never really liked him. Me and even Neil got into it the first time I met him.
Yes.
On Twitter.
You've heard this story.
I called him Kevin Newman a cream puff. Said he hit like Chris Stewart. So I might have been wrong because Kevin Newman hasn't been as bad as I thought he would be, but he's just not good enough.
All I have to say about that is one person's still on Twitter and one's not. So you win, Tyler.
True. Also, I think Kevin Newman is a guy that Kevin Newman's a guy that maybe 10 years ago he's a top 10 shortstop in the league. The way this position has changed, we're talking about 2013, Jordy Mercer was a top 5 offensive shortstop.
Right.
But the way the position has changed, he's just not a guy that you can build around.
He's no Tatis.
He's not a guy that you really. He's not a guy you can even
Lindor.
plug in. He's just there. He doesn't have a great glove. His bat's okay. He's just there. And he's 28 this year. 27. I think he's about the same age as me.
He is 27. On August 4th, he'll be 28.
Okay, he's a year younger than me. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm under and you two are over. All right.
I'm over on him. We'll speed this up and get to the next one so we can get to our next topic, but we'll go Brian Hayes this one. They've got him 574 plate appearances, 18 homers, 279, 348, 460, and a 110 WRC plus, along with a 2.8 WAR. I'm not going to lie. I think that's about fair.
This is tough. This is so tough for so many reasons because, I think it's fair, but it's not fair from what he's shown of last year and now in the spring. Everything he's shown in the major leagues, I'm looking and saying, well, that's low. He's going to do way better than that. But it's like everything that you've known, right? Like when you're watching the infomercial at, midnight, forget everything you know about Brian Hayes. That's what I feel like I have to do. I have to forget everything I know about Brian Hayes because everything I knew about Brian Hayes was, well, the bat's not there. Because when he's debuted for the majors and even into the spring, this is a whole new different guy. So how much am I buying into the old and into the new? And where do I go from there? I mean, those are still good numbers. I'm going to have to push. That's solid to me. If he did that his first year, that's solid.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. If he did not debut last year, he got called up, put up those numbers. What do you say?
Under.
Oh, I'm just saying, if that's what you're given this year without knowing anything,
right?
At the end of the year, that's his numbers. You're like, that's okay.
That's what I'm getting at.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm going under on these numbers.
Expectations are so high for him.
Are they? I feel like. What do you mean by our expectations?
Based upon last year, let's just say it never happened.
Right.
If he gets called up this year and we look back in October of this year and say, all right, well, in his rookie year, he put up this. I'll take that.
Oh, well, yeah. You're right. I see what you're saying. No, you're absolutely right. If this was his...
Now that we saw this, it's like, okay, I need more.
You're absolutely correct. That's what I'm getting at. If I saw this, last year didn't happen, and now it's October, we're talking about these numbers and talking about the season. I was not, we'd be talking almost the same way we are right now about him. I was not expecting this, over a full season, he gave us this production. That's awesome. Now I'm hopeful for 2022, but because what happened last year, I'm well,
that's it.
He could blow these numbers away, but I'm going with a push.
to Tyler's point, yeah. So let's say he didn't come up last year, right? And the last time we saw him was 2019, and he put up a 92 weighted runs created plus in AAA. And then he comes up in 2021 and he does this, and he does a 110 and almost a 3-WAR player. I think we would all be pretty happy about that. We would say, okay, we knew the glove was there. We were hoping the bat would be there. If this is what his bat looks like, then this is a solid major league player. Because I think, last year, no one was expecting Brian Hayes to be called up and be like a cornerstone of this team. We were thinking he could be a good role player and kind of just be a good a good major league third baseman. He didn't have a huge ceiling going into last year. I feel like now that ceiling has been raised.
He's a top 10 prospect, like everywhere you look.
Yeah, right. The ceiling's been raised, and I'm looking at these numbers, and I think this would be like over the course of a full season. First off, I don't think these numbers are going to be anywhere near accurate just because the games are going to be way off. He's not going to play 134 games. He's going to play 160, which will push that WAR up. Even he just does this, right? I'm going to go ahead and say he's over this. I think he's at least a 3-WAR player. I think he could put up a 4-win season this year. And I don't think that's like out of the realm of possibility right now.
It's not,
especially considering how good his glove is. I mean, I would be pretty surprised if he's worse than this. Like if Brian Hayes doesn't put up 2.8 WAR this year, I would be surprised. Again, I think he's going to be closer to 4 than he's going to be to 3.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's about fair. I think a 110 WRC plus is about what we should probably be looking forward to in the future. I don't think he's not a cornerstone really. I'm still aboard he's a role player above average.
Tim Williams said it perfect last week when he said like he's the Marte. That actually I think was a perfect comp in a sense.
Yeah,
Marte was a good player. Like he wasn't just he wasn't like a Neil Walker. I mean, Marte was another level of Neil Walker, but he wasn't a Kutch.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I'd look at it.
I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, and again, I think the 110 WRC plus is fair. Right. I just think when it comes to these specific projections, I think his counting stats are going to be higher because he's going to get more playing time than what these projections show.
Potentially.
Which will raise the WAR.
And he could easily be a 120 to 130 guy.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Right. Yep.
I mean,
I think the one thing I want to state too is, it's like we saw the spurt, last year. And of course, in the spring right now, it looks good. But like, what will happen over the full course of the season? Like, how's it going to stand over the time? And that's where he could have a hot, of course, April, and then it tones down, and this is what it levels out to. So I'm going with a push as well, just for right now. But like you guys said, I think all of us feel like he could easily blow these numbers away.
Yeah, I'm going with he's well over those.
Gotcha. Next.
All right, we'll just do one more and then we'll move on to our last topic. I'm going to go pitcher. We're going to go Mitch Keller. They've got him at 123 innings pitched, a 4.45 ERA, along with 9 Ks per 9, 3.43, and a 9.07, 391 walks per 9, 4.41 FIP.
You're up, Jim. You're first.
I don't think the innings is too far off. Again, I think this year people are going to be pretty conservative when it comes to innings. Like the Pirates are not going to have any starting pitcher start 30 games this year. I don't think it's going to happen. So 23 starts kind of seems right in line. I could see pitchers either having like extra days off or they're going to get shut down early, which will because of that, it is going to keep the WAR totals down on these starting pitchers. These numbers, though, I think this is a very important year for Mitch Keller. He came up through the system, kind of that next guy behind Glass now, and kind of as that next guy who had top of the rotation like stuff. I think Keller at one point was the number 10 prospect in baseball or close to that. So like the expectations on Keller are that he can be someone who, if not an ace, a number 2. And these numbers that these projections are putting out is not that. So I think if Keller were to do something like this, it would be a pretty big disappointment, and we would have to kind of rethink really like who Mitch Keller is if this is what he does. As I said, it's an important year for him. His career so far has been so weird because like his rookie year, the ERA was terrible, but the FIP was great. Last year, ERA was great, FIP was terrible. So like everything just kind of went backwards last year. I'm just gonna have to say, I'm gonna say under. I guess we're going under. As in, I guess it depends on what we're saying is under or over here for pitchers.
We'll go over as better ERA because you're talking WAR and stuff
over projections.
I think he's going to be better than these projections, and really just because he has to be. Like if he's not, then that's an issue going forward. So I'm going to say he's better than these projections
because he has to be. Oh boy,
yeah, because he has.
Well,
to
that's
be.
never good because if a Pirate has to do something, it's not going to happen. So
right, no, I know, yeah.
And again, I mean, not to piggyback so much, everything you said is very factual. I agree with. One thing I'll mention as well is when you look at his 2019. Well, first off, I guess we knew what Mitch Keller was about going through, the minors and such. I mean, great command. He's got some great off-speed stuff, like the curveball. You love seeing like him and Tylen's curveball. I mean, you just fell in love with, right? But it seemed as if when he came up, shockingly enough, all he did was throw fastball, right? And, like Jim said, the ERA was terrible. The FIP was great. Well, the ERA is terrible because everyone teed off on him. Last year, he comes in. We got the new pitching coach. So there's all type of, I'm not going to say hype, but it's like, okay, again, like, let's see what Mitch Keller's all about. Let's see what this year is, even though it's short. And injuries derailed it again. It was a shortened season. So again, it's almost like take that out. What is Mitch Keller? What does he bring? All this stuff. Like, I still believe in his talent. Okay. So feeling he has a normal offseason, going into a normal year, he's got Oscar Marine behind him again. He's not going to throw 70% fastballs now. Like, I'm with you too, Jim. Not even just because he has to, but also because he can be a much better pitcher than this in my eyes. So I'm going with the over as well. Also, I understand, why these projections say it. But I feel like he can definitely beat this. The 4.45 ERA, if he had this season this year, I'm not going to say I'd be shocked. Like, there's still question marks on Mitch Keller because of all the weirdness to his career, as you mentioned, but I do really feel like in his talent, he will produce better than this. So I'm going with the over also. So have I gone over, push over? So these Pirates going to be good this year?
I was going to say the DiNardo Pirates are shaping up to be a good team.
Let's do it. Playoffs, baby.
All right, now that I can give my opinion on Mitch Keller, I am actually going to go about a push on this one. I don't know what it is. There's something about, I understand the FIP, his rookie year. He had strikeouts. They're there. There's something about watching him pitch. I don't think he misses enough bats. And I think if you look a little deeper into his stats, I haven't looked that deep because I test, boys. That's what I do. I don't think he's...
But you don't watch Pirate games, so how do you have an eye test?
Please. I don't think he's the guy. He's a guy that I think is going to settle into a maybe 4 to 4.5 ERA type of dude. I just haven't seen it from him yet. The stuff seems to be there, but it hasn't clicked yet. Maybe the Oscar Marine thing works out. It didn't last year, but I can't put enough into that 2019 season to make me believe in him. Also, I'm a Pirates fan, so I'm built to be a pessimist.
And that's fair. I mean, very fair. I mean, he really. I mean, you look at 2019. Yeah, the underlying statistics all look great, but the on-field performance didn't reflect it. And then in 2020, when you were giving him the eye test, the ERA was great. The on-field performance checked out, but he didn't look good, doing it. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of both. He's kind of had a Jekyll and Hyde situation here, where when he looked good, he actually looked bad, and when he looked bad, he actually looked good. So like it's weird. Who is he? Who is he? I don't know yet. I think this is a very important season for him.
Kind of put this in perspective as well. Like, we're talking about a tale of 2 seasons, but he's only pitched, by the way, 69.2 innings of Major League Baseball. So like both of them were very, very short instances. In 19 it was 11 starts. I mean, he didn't go deep into them, but it was 11 starts, 48 innings, and then last year of all 2020, he pitched 21.2 innings. So, even with that being said, it's such a short sample size of his Major League career that we're talking about. For the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, and if I'm going to get into my bold prediction of a Mitch Keller.
Are we doing bold predictions, Tyler?
I think I'm about to do them right now.
Sorry, I got to call out your segues because they're just so good. People don't even realize it's happening.
I'm going to go with he's going to be a 4.5 ERA pitcher. And I think if you look a little deeper into his stats, if you look at his swing percentage.
Hold on. I'm cutting you off.
Things of that.
No, hold on.
Good
Wait.
Lord.
How is your bold prediction the literal projection of Mitch Keller?
Because we've already shown we don't believe in these projections.
Mitch Keller's projected to be a 4.5 forward player. I'm sorry, 4.5 ERA player. And your bold prediction is reading the stat line of Steamers.
Go ahead and ask a bunch of Pirates fans what they think he's going to do. And if they
I don't
say
care.
4.5 ERA, they're going to lose their damn mind. But I think if you would let me get back to my point, Leonardo, my God.
You don't deserve a point.
I would like to talk about some baseball here, Leonardo. If you would look at him,
I need a drink.
I think even if you look back at whenever he had the 12 strikeouts for 9 innings, you look at the swinging strike percentage. It's not great. Swing and miss is not great. I think a lot of that is a little bit skewed. And we saw some of that come to light last year. I don't think he really does have the swing and miss stuff. His fastball looks flat. The curveball looks okay, but he doesn't locate it well. He hasn't done any, even in the minor leagues, other than single A. What has he really done? I'm not a believer in Mitch Keller. I think at the end of the day, my real bull prediction, if I wasn't working on a segue, would be that he is their 4th most valuable starting pitcher this year.
Okay.
I would put, I'm going to put, I had it earlier, Anderson's above him. I think Braulton's up above him because I don't think
that's
they're able to move him. I think Anderson stays in the rotation for a long time because they're just going to ride him.
Why didn't you kick it off with that? Why was your bold prediction that Tyler Anderson is going to have a higher WAR than Mitch Keller? That's a bold prediction, Tyler. Then you could have explained it.
Leonardo, read a book.
Oh my God, you're terrible. You're good at segues. You're terrible at actual information.
Good Lord. I would say Anderson, Brault. I think Cole ends up with a higher or with a better year, and then I think it's Keller with a better WAR.
Right. That's okay. Now that's bold. I like that, especially throwing in Anderson.
I really do think that Anderson has a better WAR just because I think they're going to ride him to death. He's going to have a 4 to 4.5 ERA, and he's going to have 150 innings because they don't care about his arm.
Right. Okay. You going next, Jim, or shall I?
Bold prediction. Jesus.
We got one in the chat. I'll just put it out there just so you guys hear. So Pirates Faithful, and this one's for you too, Jim. Pirates Faithful says, here's a bold prediction. Anthony Alford hits 280 with 20 home runs. That's pretty fine.
That's a bold prediction.
Those are fine numbers. Very interesting, I would say.
Alford may do that, but it would be a AAA if it were to happen.
Which is even more impressive because that's only like 2 months of baseball now.
Yeah. No, so goodness. Bold prediction. I didn't really put much thought into these before.
Great coast we got.
We'll go with Travis Swaggerty is going to be the starting center fielder for this team in September.
Can I piggyback off that?
Yeah.
This is one of my bold predictions. Travis Swaggerty is going to be the second most valuable outfielder on the Pirates this year.
Let's combine them. Let's talk about this. I like both of those.
I think Brian Reynolds is 1. Swaggerty ends up being 2.
And what's funny is I think it's bold in the sense where you're talking Swaggerty playing this year. And not only playing, but if he's a second best, he's playing at least somewhat decent. I mean, it's not so bold saying that Swaggerty could probably have more WAR than, who else is out there? You know what I mean? That's not bold, but I think it's the sense that Swaggerty's out there.
Too, yeah. Swaggerty will be the best center fielder on this team this year. So I don't know if I'll go second most valuable on the roster because I think Polanco.
No, I said second most valuable outfielder.
Okay, no, you're right. I still think Polanco is a shot at that just because he'll have the whole season. But
bold.
Yeah, I get it.
highest, best performing center fielder definitely for the year.
And I'm going second most valuable outfielder.
So
we talked to Tim about this.
What's this say? Because actually, it's a good point. Pirates Faithful again. He says that would be a very good sign if that's true, because if Swaggerty is starting in September, he's on the up. So I guess, is it, because I think there's two sides here. Jim's already been trashing the interesting center field position battles, right? So is this more of a sign of, like, I guess maybe to an extent you guys believing in Swaggerty that he improves and earns the role? Or is it because center field is just such garbage, no one can find a spot, that they just put Swaggerty in there because why not?
I think it's a combination of the two. So I think July is going to kind of roll around and center field is going to be terrible, just like it was last year. And Swaggerty will be putting together maybe not like an overwhelming season, but a solid season. Maybe start off in AA, hopefully get called up to AAA, have a few at bats there, and then Swaggerty takes over sometime late July, early August. That's my guess.
So we feel
with Jim,
Anthony Alford struggling. Polanco took out Goodwin already. He's got a fractured elbow. Right? Fowler's not doing well, so Swaggerty's up there hitting in center field now. All right. I get it. That's bold. I like that one. All right. So
which one?
The Swaggerty.
Like
both of you. I mean, that was good.
You like mine more though, right?
Yes, Tyler. I liked yours more, Tyler. Let me coddle you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Jim, you got the doggy?
Yeah.
Bring him on. Bring him on. She or who, whatever. He, she. Bring him on the show.
He's like 80 pounds.
Oh, well.
Oh, barks like a 10-pound wiener dog.
All right. So my bold prediction. I think it's no shock who I'm going with here. I see Jim already starting to smile. He knows what's happening. I'm going with Chad Cole. My bold prediction on Chad Cole. It's got to be bold. My bold prediction is he is a top 50 starting pitcher this year. Now that's pretty bold. I know it's 50, but if you look at in 2019, like your top 50 pitchers were a 2.5 WAR player. You're looking at, a number 1, number 2 in a lot of rotations, right? 50, there's 30 teams, right? That's pretty bold, I think. I feel Chad Cole can do it. You know how I feel about Chad Cole. That's pretty bold. Is it going to happen? I mean, the chances are slimmer, but I think it can happen. I can't talk enough about this guy. I'll continue to talk, and every chance I get. I mean, he was already the spring training opening day starter, right? So the Pirates fully believe in him. There's no jest in that. But yes, I mean, I just love. Okay, love's too far. Love's too far. But I do like the talent.
I don't think it is. I don't think that's too far.
I like the talent that Chad Cole has, and they're going to just nix that damn sinker from him. He's going to show he can be a good pitcher, and he will make Mitch Keller the number 4 ranked WAR, at least the number 2, because he ain't coming for number 1. That's Chad Cole. So top 50 starting pitcher for Chad Cole.
It's fair, I guess. I think 2.5 WARs.
I mean, it's a bold prediction.
Yeah, it's bold enough, but
he's never reached it.
Outrageous.
It's not outrageous. I know.
2.2 in 157 innings.
Right. I was gonna say he's never reached it, but he came close. But outside that one season, it's been nowhere near. So
I think he'll be in that ballpark.
I wanted to say top 40, but I stuck with 50 because I think that's still bold.
Like, I'll stick with the actual bold predictions. If Jim, go ahead and talk about Chad Cole if you want, real quick.
I'll even go as far as to say he's not even a top 150 pitcher.
Oof.
God, do I hate you?
Oof.
Okay, maybe he's top 150, but he's not top 100.
What's that make him, like a 1 WAR?
Let's see,
probably
so like in 2019. In 2019, the number 100 pitcher was.
Now, mind you, too, like he's going to do all this. He's going to look really good.
The number 100 pitcher in 2019 was Kevin Gossman at 1.6.
Kevin Gossman's dog shit.
Not really.
If he is, then what's Chad Cole?
Jeff Locke.
No. Anyway, he's going to be doing all this with the Pirates and get traded, and then continue this with another team.
By top 100, he's talking a straight up number 5 arm. So not being top 100,
top 100 would be like 3.5.
Were you doing
There's 30 teams. There's 30 teams. If you are number 100, then you're basically a number 4 starter.
Yeah.
Did you take out relievers?
How many guys are? Probably not.
There are not very many relievers on this list.
Okay, well, I am saying that if you are at a 1.5 WAR as a starting pitcher, you are a number 5.
It's fair.
I mean, that is fair.
But not,
Mitch Keller was basically that in 48 innings.
Okay. I'll just jump into my
Go ahead, Tyler.
Last bold prediction I got right now. By mid-season, Blake Cederlin is at least in the setup role.
Bold would have been closer.
I love the stuff with him.
Yeah.
I love the hair. I love the stuff.
I can see that.
I mean,
didn't he cut the hair? Is the hair back?
I think he did cut the hair. Oh, what do you got? Kyle Crick, Rich Rod.
I've seen enough.
Michael Feliz. I knew you were going to say it. I think by midseason we see Blake Cederlin at least in the setup role.
I mean, that is. Know if this team has like a quote unquote setup role, to be honest. But
I think he's going to be throwing high leverage.
He'll be throwing high leverage. I can agree with that.
I think it's fair from a guy who might not even make the club to be in a setup role. That's pretty bold.
That's what I do.
Shut up, Tyler. You're next, Jim.
All right, piss off.
I guess I got to do another one here. I don't really want to make a bold prediction about the major league team just because there's just nothing interesting about it. So I'm going to shift. We're going to go minor leagues. Let's say bold prediction, minor leagues. By the end of the season, we're going to be talking about Hudson Head as like a top prospect in the system. Like top 3.
I'd hope so because Brian Hayes gets removed and O'Neal Cruz might be removed. And
like
Swaggerty might be removed.
Like I'm talking about like top 50 in baseball. Hudson Head.
Okay, that's better. I was gonna say like we're running like Nick Gonzalez and then what?
Hudson Head.
Running out of guys
50.
here.
Top 50 in baseball.
Clint Priester,
he's gonna have just
Nick
a
Gonzalez.
monster, just going to absolutely tear up single A ball.
I like that. I like where you went too, minor leagues. Because again, that's where the interest is right now. Good job, Jim. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
that would do good well too. Because think about, we talked about this, all the guys, he's definitely one of them. We haven't seen them really play because of lost season and such. So that would be really nice. Some again, more validation to a lot of these trades. Especially that one with Musgrove. Man. So I guess I'm next. I had 2 in mind. I might just say both of them for the hell of it, but I'm going to go get this one because it kind of piggybacks off like what Tyler was saying in the sense that I don't know if it's really even that bold, but it kind of is because it's terrible when you think about it. We're not going to have one person on this team that has over 9 saves. There's not going to be any double-digit save guys. I feel Rich Rod gets traded at some point, maybe even
10 games.
Maybe, well, that's part of it. You got to win 10 games to get 10 saves. But, I just feel like there's trades, there's so many moving parts. If Crick is on the team, which we talked about, Jim, you mentioned like he could be a DFA candidate, but if he's on the team, like he could be given opportunities for, saves and such, and he'll get a few, and then he's removed because he's not that good, and it goes to the next guy. It's going to be a big carousel, I feel, this year. And it very well could be Cederlin who picks up a few at the end as well. But yeah, that's my bold prediction, that we won't have a guy that sees over 9 saves this year.
I don't disagree. Mainly because I think the bullpen's absolutely terrible. And they're going to get annoyed of everyone within a few games. And we know that Shelton's a little bit fickle.
I almost even went the opposite with the bold prediction and said that the Pirates lone all-star representative was going to be a reliever. God. But I didn't do it.
That might be one to end on. Like, who's the lone all-star? But I got one more here.
All right.
Todd Frazier leads the team in home runs.
That's a bold prediction. It's a
very bold prediction. Will not happen.
I don't know.
That's very. I guess it could. I guess it could if number 2 is way far back. I like that. I guess my take is if he leads a team in home runs.
Oh, we got problems.
He gets traded, and therefore he won't lead the team in home runs. You know what I mean?
I would have put like an over-under Todd Frazier home runs this season at probably
10,
like 8.5.
But I would not be shocked if he ends up with like 21. They don't move him at the deadline because they don't like to return.
The only way he's going to end up with that if he's is if he's playing every day, which he's not going to do.
Pirates Faithful says, is he going to lead us with 5?
I'm just saying, like, I can see the scenario where they
Moran would have to
over
get
him.
hurt. Basically.
No, I see the scenario where
and Hayes doesn't live up to his projection.
Hayes ain't hitting 20 something.
But is Todd Frazier hitting 20 something by the deadline in a part-time role?
Moving Moran. So you saying Moran just goes to the bench?
Oh, good Lord. Are we deaf, dumb, or stupid here? I'm saying we are trading Moran, and then they're stuck with Todd Frazier at first.
Okay.
I saw that. I saw it click into Nora's head.
Okay. Because Moran could be leading, but obviously he's gone, and Frazier's still there. Now he picks up everyday role, and he ends up. It could be like, Carl Moran has 15 and Frazier ends up with 16.
No, probably not. Moran probably has 10. We move him for some bubble
I'll tell you what. Okay. That's not bad.
And then for some reason,
it's a bold prediction.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Frazier's last full season, he hit 21.
Right.
It's weird that I projected 21.
Moran being traded is what opens it up. So I guess that what you're saying is your bold prediction is also Carl Moran gets traded. Yeah, I like that too.
Going to get traded.
I like that part too.
Moran has a strong start to the season. He gets traded. Frazier ends up playing first base every day because they don't have. What are they going to do? Play Will Craig? No.
Right.
Because they don't want their middle infield thrown to a guy that can't catch a ball. So we roll with Todd Frazier. He hits 21 homers. I win.
I win.
I don't know if anybody wins in that situation.
Right. This sounds like a lose-lose, but anyways.
It is, but in my head it wins.
The only one that wins is Todd Frazier. Well, no, he still lost because he obviously couldn't trade us. So he couldn't get his ass traded to another team. He's still with the Pirates. If Todd Frazier leads the Pirates in home runs this year, he lost.
Watch him get cut from spring training.
Oh God. I'm gonna go with one more. This is very bold. I almost didn't want to say it because it's so bold, but I'm going to. But I guess to end on my bold prediction here, it is that Kevin Newman hits over 300. Still not gonna be a great baseball player. He's gonna do the one tool he has. He's gonna hit for contact. He's gonna bat 300. His on base is gonna be 338, and he's gonna be slugging 380. So he's still going to be right. He can still be barely over his 85 weighted run created plus with that. But that's my bold prediction is he will bat over 300. He's batting 667 right now. So, I mean, hell, easy money.
I don't hate it.
I guess I'll do one more. Cole Tucker does not make the opening day roster.
I'm all aboard that. Just because I want him gone. He's like Juju, too busy with his social life.
Oh, God, here we go. If he would just stop DMing Vanessa Hudgens, he'd be a good baseball player.
True.
That's exactly right. No, I don't think there's a spot for him.
I don't think he's good enough to be a major leaguer, so.
That too. But,
right.
Even on this team, I don't know if there's even room for him.
If you can't make this team, you can't make any team.
Also true.
Yeah.
Any objection, Donardo?
I don't have an objection. I could definitely see it. I guess a little bit we talked about in Starbucks. I am going to be interested to find out what they do to resolve that middle infield. I mean, it's problem, however you want to put it. I mean, it's, what it is. But, Adam Frazier's still here. You got Kevin Newman. You got Eric Gonzalez. What's Cole Tucker's role? I get that he's probably not going to be good, but you still want to give him every opportunity to. Therefore, you want to have at-bats. And if he's not going to get the at-bats in the majors, might as well be in the minors. though there's no minors until May now. So again, just more complicated things. But yeah, no objections there. I could see that happening. I actually probably lead to that being the case as it stands right now.
All right, real quick before we, I guess, Leonardo tells us to head out. Who is your all-star from the Pirates?
We going bold or realistic?
Just who's the all-star?
Jacob Stallings.
Oof.
I was thinking about saying that.
Yeah, no.
Like I could see him like going into the All-Star break as like the second best catcher in the National League.
No.
Yeah. And what's like, you would think it'd be like some token reliever then but it's like, is there even a reliever that's going? Like even in the Pirates' bad years, they had relievers that could actually represent a team.
Leonardo, I'm going Rich Rod. I think there's too much competition at their base.
Is he on the team at the All-Star break?
Yeah. I think it don't matter.
Well, it does matter. It literally matters what team he's on at the All-Star break.
By the time selections are done, he'll be on the team. Will he be on the team by the time the game is played? No.
Sure. Okay.
But I would go Rich Rod because I think there's too much competition at their base, and I don't see any other spot that's going to be available.
This is so tough.
Yeah, Stallings is the third catcher.
I feel I don't want
to. Everyone sucks at catching.
Real Muto, Yachty, and Stallings.
God, someone kill me.
Yeah, the Cardinals vote. Gotta think about that. Well, I think we need to call. I think what needs to happen is Pirates fan base has to get on board today, right now. We got to we got to anoint who the All-Star will be, so that way we can pull like a Kansas City Royals, right? Like the St. Louis Cardinals, and we all vote that person in. Like we make sure we start the rally now, so that way they get 10 billion votes and they're in. But
because I think you can vote 10 times a day. So what if everybody just voted for Polanco 10 times a day?
Do it. Up the trade value. He's an all-star. We're going to give you this all-star. Okay, so mine's a little bit bold here as well, and I don't want to just say what Jim said because I was thinking it too, but screw it. Put all the chips in. It's keep Ryan Hayes. Get out of here, Nolan Arenado. Get out of here, Nolan Arenado. You're with the Cardinals now. You're not that good. I don't care about the Cardinal vote. He's going to come off the hot start. He's going to blow it out. And who else are we voting for the Pirates? It's Ke'Bryan Hayes.
It's true.
He'll be the backup third baseman.
Gladly take it. We got Josh Harrison in, and he sucks.
That's sad. Like, someone on the Pirates is going to be an all-star this year.
It's like Evan Meek all over.
You know, like someone's going to be an all-star. Man, talking about a participation trophy.
Remember, there was one year when Mike Williams was our all-star.
Yeah.
It's like a 5 ERA.
Yeah, he had like an over 5 ERA.
But at least
he was not good.
No,
at all.
But at least he had saves. Like there was like a stat. At least you could say like he had. You know,
saves.
He had saves,
but he was not good that year.
No,
it was awful.
No. But like, there's not going to be a guy on this team that's going to have saves. I feel so. That's even worse.
Yeah.
All right. Are we out of here then? We wrapping the show up?
I think so.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Well, we will catch you all next week. Let's go Pirates. Yay. And Jim's going to be down there in Bradenton on Sunday. So there it is.
Yeah. I'll try to do Starbucks like on location. Let's try it. I'm going to try to figure it out.
Yeah, just not on location. not as we might have intended originally. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
So
Later.